They think that's the beginning. Turn it off, turn it off.
Girls, you can't get hysterical.
Hurry, what? There, where is it? There. It's not on. Yes, it is. You say our product. Chocolatey Sparkly Spray. That is the name of our product. By Michal and Ariela. Hello? 6 o'clock? Okay, that'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. I have somebody coming in. Their name was Crawford, Miss Crawford, and she would like to come in soon, I hope, because that's what's supposed to happen, you know. Well, I have to go now. Bye. Bye. Come on. Come on. Bye. Oh my God, come in. I will when you come in. Oh my gosh. Stop. Stop. Tell me when it's coming. Our product is called Chocolatey Sparkly Spray. It's hairspray. Hello. Oh yes, you can come in at 6 p.m. But I'm waiting for somebody named Miss Crawford. She's supposed to be coming in very soon. I hope she comes soon because I have an appointment. Oh, I gotta go. She's here. Oh my gosh, Cindy Crawford. Hi. Welcome to our salon. Oh, thank you. So what would you like me to do? This, or this? Okay. Would you like to hear about a new product? Chocolate spray. Sparkly spray. Chocolate sparkly spray. You would like that? Yes, please. But if you use too much, you may get chocolate lice, or you're going to lose your hair, and your head's going to turn chocolate. So, are you sure you want it? Yes, I'm sure. I will show you how to put on this product with our lovely model, Cindy Crawford. Hello, everybody. I'm Cindy Crawford. Please sit down, Miss Crawford. How long will the spray take? Adina! 0 grams of carbohydrates, 1 gram of protein, 20 calories, 25 grams of sugar. Moving that it's on. It's on, the red light. Yeah, go. No. Get down. Go on the floor. Get down. Our product is called Chocolatey Sparkly Spray. I think I hear the phone. Ring, ring. Hello? I think you can, yeah, 6 p.m. is perfect, but I have to be home by 7 p.m. and I'm expecting somebody to come. Her name's Miss Crawford. Do you know anybody named Miss Crawford? Because I don't. Oh, well, I hope she comes soon. Oh, she's here. I gotta go. Cindy Crawford? Oh my gosh! I need to sign your picture. Thank you for coming. Welcome to our salon. You're welcome. Our product is called Chocolatey Sparkly Spray. Please. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm Cindy Crawford. Please sit down. How long will it take the spray to make my hair pretty? Oh, 1 second, my dear. 1 second. What nutritional contents are in this spray? Let me look for my paper. It says all on there. Oh, here it is. Thank you. 2 cups of water, 2 cups of sprinkles, 2 cups of glitter, 5 cups of fat, 0 grams carbohydrates, 1 gram of protein, 20 calories, 9 grams of sugar, and it's dairy. Okay, but how much will this stuff cost? $5, no tax. $5, no tax. Will this hurt? Oh no. Should I start now, my dear? Which one would you like? Chocolate spray, or would you like me to shampoo your hair? I would like the chocolatey sparkly spray. It's our newest one. Hope you enjoy it. It smells great. Would you like to smell it?
No, thank you.
Smell it, you must. Okay, this might hurt just a teensy-weensy bit. I was exaggerating. Ooh, it fell on my beautiful chair. Okay, let me brush your hair through. And Miss Crawford, to make you look even beautiful. There. Well, thank you for coming. This product, I forgot to tell you, is 100% chocolate.
Where is this product sold?
It's sold at Kmart, Walmart, body shops, and other places. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Bye, my dear friend.
Wonderful, wonderful. Lots of teeth, lots of smiles.
Oh, that's the Zamir choir. Where are they from, Ben?
And they're from B'nai Yeshurun today. And we want to wish you all a very happy
Good one. You want to
Hanukkah.
wave to people at
Come
home?
on, let's go.
There you go. Come
all
on
right.
in.
Now, Mom and Dad, you need to, like, get one of those ESPN isolations where you can just spot your son and
Zero
daughter
in
there.
on
Yeah.
one.
Or we'll get one of those John Madden telestrators, and they can circle who's starring.
Well, good morning to you. We'll be hearing
Good
from
morning.
them throughout the show. And good morning to them. This is the first full day of Hanukkah. Began
Yes, it
last
is.
night. It's sundown, and happy Hanukkah to you, kids.
On Friday, December the 6th. It's a beautiful 36 degrees outside.
Actually, it's okay. Hey.
Well, it's better than
We've
32.
seen a lot worse.
Yes, and Don did not deliver on the snow, the light dusting of snow that he had promised last night. So, Don Webster, thank you so much.
Maybe did any come to the east side at all? No?
Nope, did
None at all?
not make it even
Zippo?
to the east side.
Did it snow on any of you kids?
Nope.
Nope.
No, you're
No
allowed
snow?
to talk. This is television. You know, it's
Hey, you know, speaking of weather, it makes me wonder. We got this letter that came in. She wrote to me from Ontario, Canada.
ooh,
You know that it's coming from far. when
a
it says,
Canadian friend of ours.
Morning Exchange, WEWS TV, Cleveland, Ohio, USA, the letter said. So I said, aha, this is coming from afar.
Fan mail.
Well, she was a nice letter. She said, we have recently turned our aerial across the lake to Ohio and find we got very good reception and enjoy your channel. Now, this is from Merlin, Ontario, is where she is writing. And she says, when Mark gives the weather, tell him to sort of include us a bit. She says, we live straight across from Cleveland in Sandusky. And over in Canada, they use Celsius, which to me, who was raised with Fahrenheit, I find it very confusing.
You don't know if you're supposed to be hot or cold is what the problem is.
Since I try to judge from your weather to our own, keep up the excellent work, Mrs. Ernest Wills from Merlin, Ontario, Canada. So if you're watching this morning to you, Mrs. Wills, good morning to you.
Good morning, and thanks for
Brilliant.
writing. We always get a kick out of hearing from folks who are
Just
watching us.
Turn that aerial around.
Right.
There's some people in Cleveland who may not have their aerial
Aerials
around
turn.
the Cleveland
That explains a
stations.
lot of things, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does. Well, why don't we give away some money? I don't know if she could call in from Canada, but she could try, I suppose. I doubt. Those numbers probably wouldn't work. We have a $50 gift certificate from Beechwood Place today to give away if you can prove that you watched the show yesterday, no matter where you're calling from. And there was a book. It was a controversial little book called The Rules.
Right.
It was written by two women. I just gave it away.
I was just well, what you didn't do is you didn't say who the author
All you have to do
S's
is
were.
say one of the first names of the author.
Yeah, we'll settle for either of the first names. And
written on there and I read it.
if you happen to also remember the name of the book, that's
I
kind
already
of cool
said
too.
that,
But
though. So all you have to do is say one of the first names of the women who wrote that book. Just make up a name. They're pretty common names. Here we go. We'll start here. This is going to make it more difficult. Slap my wrist.
I can't. That's a rule about doing
Okay.
that.
There we go.
Hello?
Hi there. Do you know one of their names?
Ellen Fine.
Yes.
Ellen Fine, yes, all right. Thank you very much. You just took us right off the hook.
You got me off the hook. What's your name?
This is Marie.
Hi, Marie. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, I live in Brecksville.
You're in Brecksville, and you didn't get any snow at all, right?
Oh.
Overnight?
Good for you.
Okay, well, how would you like to go shopping?
Ooh, sounds great.
Good. We have that $50 gift certificate for you to go to Beechwood Place, so you enjoy that for the holidays.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Well,
And
thank
to
you. Happy
too.
holidays to you, too.
Thanks. Okay, she's on line 5. We'll put her on hold.
Hey, you know, every now and then. But, you know, since we both have these near-death experiences, like giving away the answer before the question is asked, Phil Berman's going to come in and talk to us about near-death experiences and his new book. So many folks claim to be able to get close to God in a way that is hard to explain away. So we're going to talk to Phil Berman, but first, I think we're going to talk to Mark about the weather.
I want to hear from
Mark,
him.
I
See
think
what he has to say about Canada.
There he.
too.
Oh, Mark, you've got your hood
Mark.
on.
Well, it's chilly out here in Ohio, in the old USA.
Yes.
But I want to tell Mrs. Wills up in Merlin, Ontario.
Okay.
It's one.
It's
1 degree where she is.
Celsius.
1 degree Celsius. That's right. The conversion is 1.8 degree Fahrenheit per 1 degree Celsius, and then you subtract 32.
Gotcha.
You with me?
We're with you. We're here.
Okay. Can I do the weather now?
I think you should, because you look cold. You need to go inside soon.
I'm chilly. You know what? We're in Lorain County, and we are at the Hickories. It's the old Arthur Garford mansion, and he made his fortune selling something very unique. He actually invented the padded bicycle seat. Wow, what happened before they had the padded seat? It is to ponder. Okay, we're going to be here. They have a special celebration going on, a special fundraiser. We're going to go inside the house and take a look at the beautiful rooms. Another historical day in Lorain County. Right now, let's take a look at the weather. Boom, you're out of there. It's cloudy outside. Underneath the hickories, too, I can see up in amongst the branches, lots of clouds here in Lorain County and all over the place. Nothing much precipitation-wise. There might be a little flurry where you are, a scattered sprinkle. Mrs. Wills, up there in Merlin, you're probably dry right now, but cloudy. Okay, we're going to have a high today of roughly 38, 39 degrees, and for folks in Ontario, that's about 3 degrees Celsius. Fred, or Connie and Dennis, back to you. 3.
Is Celsius colder or warmer than Fahrenheit?
Well, you should ask the weatherman that.
You know, it's like I think I was absent that day in high school.
What'd you say, Mark?
It's the same.
It's the same.
It's not colder or warmer.
It's the same.
It's just
so
an interpretation of numbers.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
I just don't know how to dress when he tells me it's 0 or 32. Is that? It's silly. I know. I'll pay better attention next time.
Thank you, Mark.
Stick to politics.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Stick to politics, he said.
One of these days we're going to trade jobs because I want to be able to point up here and say, and in Hawaii today, and it'll be wrong.
Could you do that?
No. No.
We should do that sometime. We should show people on television the special skill
People
that it
would
takes
show
to
up
do
on
that.
perfectly sunny days with umbrellas.
Oh, well.
Only in America.
And only with Dennis. We want to talk about an experience that maybe you have had in your life or someone that you know has had a near-death experience. Our religious correspondent, Phil Berman, has put together something that was on the news, and we want to expand on that. Let's take a look first here at these experiences of people who say they have been beyond.
And there were 2 beings standing in front of me, holding hands. One was an adult, the other one was a youth, and I knew the youth was my son. And the adult said to me, "It's all right, he's with me now." I realized I'd been in the presence of something very extraordinary.
We've all heard such remarkable near-death stories on television talk shows. What is seldom recognized is how tremendously similar these near-death stories are to the ones that have been left to us by the famous mystics of history, such as the Carmelite nun, St. Teresa of Avila. Mystical experiences were also reported by Muhammad, Moses, and a host of Eastern religious visionaries, as well as by such esteemed scientists as Dr. Albert Einstein and Dr. Jane Goodall. They are also reported by an astounding 40 million ordinary Americans, just like you and me.
And Phil Berman is joining us now. Those are incredible experiences you hear of, and we hear these stories. You put them together as a compilation and say, there's really something spiritual here.
Yeah, You know, when 30 million Americans are having what they call mystical or peak experiences, and when over 10 million Americans have been reporting near-death experiences, it's something you have to take seriously. In my book, though, I don't argue that people actually die and come back to life, because I don't think we can prove that on this side of eternity. But when you compare what happens to people in near-death experiences to what happens in mystical experiences, the similarities are remarkable. That story that we just saw, John McDonnell is a professor of music at the University of Akron, and what happened to him was his son strangulated on a swing, and after his son's funeral, he came home and he sat on the edge of his bed, and he was visited by, he felt two beings. He had a vision, a spiritual vision. We would call that a mystical experience. But he was filled with a sense of joy, a sense of light, a sense of peace, a sense that his son was okay, and that his son had returned to home. And that's why I call my book The Journey Home, that ultimately all of us emerge from the womb of some powerful, loving force, and then to this we also return. And that was a very comforting thing for him.
One of the passages in your book, Phil, mentions, when I was reading it last night, I'm referring to the chapter about experiences the light with God, that people sometimes actually believe that they meet God, and they describe God as a force or as a presence, not necessarily the, you know, wizened old white bearded visage.
Yeah.
How does that experience affect their life then, as they return?
Well, you can well imagine. I think the vast majority of us live with the belief or the hope that there's a God, right? But if you talk to near-death experiencers and you say to them, do you believe in God? They look at you and they kind of smile and they say, believe? What are you talking about? I know. I've seen it. I've felt it. I've experienced it. And, you know, this thing also happens to people whom you would least expect. For example, Albert Einstein had a mystical experience, and he talks about God with a small g. Dr. Jane Goodall, whom you know I'm working on a book with, I spent the summer in Africa with her, and we walked up to a spot where she observed the chimpanzees, and she said, you know, one day I sat here looking at the chimpanzees, and I was infused with this sense of joy as though I belonged to them and they belonged to me. And after you have an experience like that, it's not a question of belief anymore. It's a powerful knowing, a faith.
Well, I think what you're doing is trying to demystify death and dying so that your life, in essence, takes on new meaning.
Right.
Is there anybody who reports having a bad experience?
Yeah, there are. They're pretty rare. And I encountered a fellow named Howard Storm that was a professor of art at the University of Kentucky. And he was leading a summer tour of students over in Europe and had eaten some bad food, who knows what, ended up in a hospital in Paris, and they couldn't operate on him. He went unconscious, and he said he went to a dark, empty, cold place, and he was tormented by little figures in the dark, and then eventually he cried out for help, and then he was carried up to the light. But he said that he had to review his life, and this often happens to people that have these experiences, and he says, and I was the most self-centered SOB on the earth. And I had to sit there and look at all the horrible things that I'd done. What's fascinating is that after his experience, he came back, and now he's a Christian minister.
A quick question on that point. Do you, in your studies of this, discover any differences of people's descriptions to you based on their religious or ethnic backgrounds?
Yeah, that's a very good question. The light in the experience is invariable across cultures, but people in India report seeing Indian religious figures, like they'll see Shiva or Shakti. Christian people will see in the light Jesus or perhaps a saint. And so apparently what happens is we bring to the light our designation of the cultural things that we're most familiar with.
And since today we're in the sense of Hanukkah, any differences there?
Well, the Jewish experiencers that I've talked to tend not to describe seeing anything in the light, but just feeling this bright sense of light,
well-being,
and well-being, and a sense of, you know, belonging is the word that keeps coming back. Because I think that what all of us are trying to overcome in our lives is a sense of alienation. And these people have these experiences, and they feel a sense of belonging. The word unity comes in a lot, the word peace. You know, I myself had a mystical experience once where I was looking at a little dust devil, and suddenly in looking at it, I felt myself become one with it, and I was just filled with this sense of wonder, of gratitude, of joy, and all the fear that I had vanished. Now, I don't live without fear every day, Connie, but obviously it's the goal.
Why don't we take a break with that thought, because I think that leaves people pondering here. We'll come back and talk about this some more, about these near-death and mystical experiences. We'll be back in just a minute.
Forgive me if I stop and stare, but Giant Eagle's got a drugstore right down there.
I always have the exact prescriptions my family needs.
So the pharmacist checked his computer and found out that Andrea had an allergy to penicillin.
I gave them my prescription, did all my shopping, came back, it was ready. And what a low price.
Giant Eagle, so simple for you.
I'd go out of my way to find a pharmacist this good.
Isn't it nice you don't have to?
Dear Santa.
You have a lot of things on your list?
Perhaps you heard about these Colonel's Crispy Strips from KFC. Mom, where's the North Pole? Juicy all-white meat chicken, freshly prepared.
How's Santa gonna bring all those things here?
They're good enough to be a meal. So stop at my house first. Everybody else is just serving cookies. Everybody needs a little KFC.
Now get 3 Colonel's Crispy Strips, mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, and a biscuit, just $2.99.
Come back to Christmas in the Colonies for a unique celebration of Christmas in the 18th century manner. Join costume craftsmen, musicians, and entertainers in an early American holiday atmosphere. The fine traditional crafts will include blacksmithing, tin, wood crafts, pottery, and much more. Find the finest handcrafted items at modest prices. Come home to yesterday. Join us as the celebration continues with special events this December 7th at the Medina County Community Center for Christmas in the Colonies, where the past is our present to you. It's the 25th anniversary of the Walt Disney World Resort, and you can join in the celebration with a once-in-a-lifetime Disney World reunion for you and your family. It's easy to enter. Just stop by the customer service desk on the Avenue at Tower City Center. Fill out an entry form, and you could win the grand prize of a 4-night, 5-day stay at Disney's All-Star Resort for up to 15 members of your family. Here's the scoop. The deadline for entries is December 20th. Give me 5 and remember the magic with Walt Disney World's 25th anniversary family reunion.
It better be bits. It better be bits.
Oh, yeah, it's bits, Mike. It's bits, I tell you.
It better be kibbles and bits. Those crunchy kibbles and chewy bits have all the nutrition a dog needs.
It better be bits.
What I tell you, Mike, it's bits.
And we are back. Hello there. And Phil Berman is still with us. By the way, we should say that this topic is certainly something that many people want to hear about. You taped an Oprah show.
Yeah, last Thursday, we did a taping. I appeared on Oprah with a young man from Akron who, very sad story, was shot last Christmas Eve in the head and was in a coma for 3 months, a 19-year-old boy, and he had a near-death experience. And in his vision, he saw his mother come to him and tell him everything is all right. This is a terrible story because when he woke up, he found out his mother had also been shot and died.
Oh, my.
But the experience had been so comforting to him that was what really kept him alive spiritually, you know, dealing with the death of his mother in his coma.
So that will be on Christmas Eve?
December 24th, the day before Christmas on Oprah, yeah.
Want to get to some phone calls?
Let's go.
Okay.
Good morning. Yes, good morning. Mr. Berman?
Yes, good morning.
Yes, we love your book and we're going to get it.
Thank you.
I had a horrible experience near death. I had peritonitis. And we feel it was due to bad food also. When I was on the operating table, I saw the vision of Jesus. And it has changed my life completely. I'm a different person.
And
I thought I would call in with this comment.
Yes, and how so?
How so? I saw Jesus right there on top, and he said, everything will be all right. I didn't think I was going to make it.
Mm-hmm. Has it filled your life with a sense of gratitude?
Yes, sir. Not only a sense of gratitude, but I look at life different with people. I was a bad SOB myself, as I look at it, and now I'm not that way. I give people a chance. I give myself a chance. I don't hurry to do things. I take things one day at a time, where before I was always running. Life was running. Work. You know, I didn't have time for anything.
Yes.
Where now my life has changed. I pray. I go to church every Sunday. I do things different.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And here's another caller. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling to find out if Mr. Berman ever heard of anyone relating after a near-death experience that they received messages.
Huh. That's an interesting question. Yeah, I have. And in fact, even for people that have not had a near-death experience, it's very common, apparently, for people to have visitations of relatives or people in dreams or such. In fact, Jane Goodall told me that after her husband died of cancer for about 6 months, she felt his presence very powerfully in his life. But apparently in time, it tends to go away.
And we'll take another call here. There we are.
Good morning.
Hi there. Are you
Hello.
on?
Hello?
Yes.
You're on.
I would like to know why it is that so many of our mainstream religions in this country tend to kind of negate this type of thing. They don't really go out of their way to foster it. It seems like there's almost a fear of it. Where you might go, what kinds of institutions or organizations would help you foster this in your own life. I've had some experiences like this. And one of the things that happened was that I could not take that experience and connect with the mainstream religion. And I've gone into more kinds of alternate healings, and I've gone into more of the Eastern beliefs.
Yes.
The other thing I'd like to know is what's the role of animals in this? Because there seems to be a lot of spirit around animals, and our culture doesn't really foster a lot of concern with animals.
Okay. Well, let me tackle the first question. We'll see if I have time. I think it's important to recognize that the mystical strain exists in every religion. And that, for example, if one is a Catholic and they're interested in the contemplative dimension of the gospel, you can study St. John of the Cross or Teresa of Avila, that these mystical traditions exist. In Judaism, Abraham Joshua Heschel, Martin Buber, there's a whole history of mystics. Right. In every tradition, this mystical core exists and can be found, in my opinion. And I don't think really, and a call about pets in connection to animals, I don't know what to say about that other than that those who have a profound experience of unity feel them connected to all of life in a very profound way.
And I think we can take one more caller. Good morning.
Good morning. Sir, I have a comment about what you're talking about. I think the devil has tricked mankind into thinking these kind of things about their loved ones because people miss their loved ones. But the Bible in King James tells us clearly, in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, 5, 6, and 10, verse 10, says the dead know not anything. And I think the devil is trickery. And he lets people believe this because they miss their loved ones so much, and they are willing to believe anything.
Well, I don't know what to say to you other than that every world's religious tradition holds that something unspeakably glorious happens after we die. And while I'm not certain that when people have near-death experience they die and come back to life, I am certain that these are powerful hints that there may be something wonderful in store for us on the other side of life, and I take that on faith.
And as we take a look at your book, as it says, unlike other books, you don't try to prove the existence of life after death. I think you're stressing the importance of living in the present.
Yeah, really that's the goal of the book, is to say, look, none of us want to go out and have a near-death experience to feel meaning in our lives. And so I try and derive some of the lessons that people can follow in their daily life to enhance a sense of meaning.
Okay.
And there's a book signing for those folks who want to meet you and get to talk a little more about it. That's Saturday, which is December 7th, which is also tomorrow, and at the First Unitarian Universalist Church in Shaker Heights, Ohio, on Shaker Boulevard.
You'll also be speaking, aren't you?
I'm going to be speaking at noon, and Ted Henry's going to be there, and a lot of us folks, and it's going to be a wonderful gathering of people talking about spiritual life.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Connie.
Nice to have you with us back among us, even though you work here, too. Good to have you. I knew you just flew in last night from L.A. to come back and be with us this morning.
And that can be a near-death experience, taking the red eye as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Well, still to come today, we will have for you perhaps one of your favorite actresses, Shelley Long. You remember her
from Cheers.
Were you a big Cheers fan?
Absolutely. You could not, if you missed it.
Who was your favorite?
Oh, there's no doubt. Ted played a remarkable character because of his inability to fit in sometimes, so I kind of related to that, but there's no doubt that the postman, the mailman, what's his name?
Not Norm.
Norm.
No.
Norm.
Cliff.
Cliff. Sorry.
You're a Cliff guy. Oh, no, you don't have all those little minutia things do you?
I plead not guilty to any of those charges.
We'll talk about that. We'll have plenty more for you coming up. Also, your pet care. Right now, there's some things you should be doing with Fido in the winter. We'll tell you about that, and we'll do some cooking with your kids. Right now, though, we're going to check back in with Mark and see what kind of weather's on the way. Hi, Mark.
Hi there, Connie. You know, here in Elyria, the Garford home? That's right.
Hickories.
Yeah. The Arthur Garford home, the Hickories as it's called, is filled with many, many antiques and a turn-of-the-century charm. And we're going to find out a little bit about why the Lorain County Historical Society wants to save this place and refurbish it and wants you to come out and visit this holiday season. With me is Karen Adenolfi.
That's right.
And you are the executive director of this historical society, correct?
That's correct.
All right. First of all, a little bit of history about Arthur and his family. I understand he invented the padded bicycle
Yes,
seat?
he did. He grew up here in Elyria and graduated from Elyria High School. He started out as a clerk in the Elyria Savings Bank downtown. And legend has it he was riding home from work on his bicycle one day, and they had flat wooden seats, and he decided there must be a better way. And he came up with an idea for springs and padding. And he was the first one to submit a patent for that invention.
No kidding. And then once he made his fortune on the bicycle seats, he went into auto
manufacturing. He started out making chassis for Studebaker.
Wow.
And eventually went into making his own cars and trucks right here in Elyria.
Terrific. All righty, now the house. Tours are going on. You've decorated it with Christmas finery. Tell us a little bit about when the tours are going on.
We are open for tours Tuesday through Friday from 1 to 4 and Saturday from 12 to 4. Throughout the next week, we have Lorain County florists who have come in and decorated it for us for the holiday season. And we'll be open this weekend. We have a children's party tomorrow. We have an open house on Sunday. And tonight we have our special fundraiser, our candlelight holiday at the Hickories.
Tonight?
Yes, tonight.
What time?
5:30 to 7:30 right here at the house, so everyone can come and see all the beautiful florists and just enjoy themselves.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We're gonna go upstairs and show you the Teddy Roosevelt influence on this home. Yep, Teddy was big here at the Garford home. So we're going to tell you all about that coming up in just a little while. Right now, the weather outside, thank you very much. The weather outside is cloudy, and we do have a couple little sprinkles or snowflakes still out over Lake Erie, but really nothing showing up on radar. So it's all clear. Go out and shop. Do whatever you have to do to prepare for the big holiday. And happy Hanukkah, incidentally, the second day of Hanukkah. So if you have to do some traveling for that, no trouble. Current temperatures, here we are. 33 in Cleveland, 31 Akron, Canton. Here in Elyria, it is 32. It's 30 in Mansfield. Forecast for today looks like this. Dun-da-da-da, kind of a climactic moment there. Cloudy skies, just a flurry, just a sprinkle. Our high 39 degrees. Welcome back. Here we are in the Garford home. This is the parlor. And you heard all about the tours tonight, the big fundraiser. So come on out, and we're going to go upstairs and look at the bull moose in just a little while. Stay with us. Right now, Stork Report up next, brought to you by our friends at Big Boy Restaurants.
This portion of the Morning Exchange is sponsored by Stop & Shop Supermarkets.
You know us. We're Stop & Shop Supermarkets, your holiday food store. Why does everyone know us? It's for the best values like these. Save on delicious Eckrich Hall meat bologna, just $1.99 a pound. And stock up on 1-ounce bottles of McCormick's Pure Vanilla Extract, only $1.99 each. And while you're at Stop & Shop, don't forget to buy Promise Margarine, 1 pound quarter package, only 99 cents. So now that you really know us, you can always count on us for the best values in town. Stop and Shop Supermarkets.
Yes, the Ohio Lottery's instant games. As many ways to win as you've got ways to scratch.
Who has over 20,000 Christmas trees to choose from? Laundrico's. Laundrico's Christmas trees, 7525 Granger Road in the Valley, has the trees you want. Scotch pines, Douglas firs, blue spruce, from 3 feet to 15 feet.
Starting at $7.95.
The greatest selection in the state. These trees are priced to move. Laundrico's also has pine roping, 25-foot roll, $5.99. Wreaths, $4.99. Laundrico's Christmas trees, 7525 Granger Road in the Valley, located at the Cloverleaf Trading Center. If you need a tree, think Laundrico's.
Come and meet those dancing feet.
42nd Street. It's a tap dance and musical extravaganza like no other.
Light Rock 106.5 welcomes 42nd Street, December 26th through New Year's Eve at Palace Theater. Tickets now at Playhouse Square box office, all Adventix locations, or charged by phone. 241-6000.
42nd Street. It's a big Broadway dream come true.
What do Dennis Rodman and Martha Stewart have in common? I'm Lee Jordan. Barbara Walters tells us about this year's 10 most fascinating people. Today, live on 5.
Welcome back and good Friday morning. The weather is respectable, and so, of course, is the enjoyment that we all feel each of these Decembers. Or I guess sometimes is that enjoyment stretched a little beyond the bounds of what maybe many folks think is proper. Rabbi Ben Kamen from the Temple is with us this morning, and we were talking during the break about, you suggested the value of both Hanukkah and Christmas. Have we lost sight of what these holy and holidays really mean to us, or should mean to us?
I think to a great degree we really have lost sight of that, and we've been victimized to a great degree by the commercial frenzy of December, and I'm as concerned for the meaning of Christmas, for example, to a Christian family that wants to pray and wants to share in the idea of that holiday, which involves the birth of a Savior. That's not registering on my antenna this month. This is a country, of course, with many people who share that faith. And Hanukkah also, which is a minor holiday on our calendar, has nonetheless been swept into this whole December frenzy. It's a concern of mine that we're stressing valuables and not values.
We have a lot of people who perhaps don't know a whole lot about the holiday, about Hanukkah. Will you explain that to us, please?
It actually is not a big deal on the Jewish calendar. It's become bigger because of the accident of the calendar. Hanukkah is a minor celebration on the Jewish calendar of an event that took place in ancient Palestine about 165 before the Common Era, when a group of Jewish zealots called the Maccabees led a revolt against Hellenism, which had pervaded Palestine, and the Greeks who were in Palestine, who had infiltrated not only the Jewish way of life, but the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. Right. And the Maccabees, the name means the hammers, led a popular revolt. I dare say that there was also a civil war in Palestine because some Jews had become Hellenists also. But the Maccabees, or the Hasmoneans as they were called, won this difficult battle and re-established the shrine in Jerusalem, the temple, and refurbished it. And this was the first time in world history, in fact, that a group of people had defeated another people in behalf of religious freedom. It resonates a lot in the American dream as well. It's the first time that people fought a battle, a war, and died to establish religious freedom. And so these candles we light, there are 8 of them because the story is there was a miracle. The Maccabees had to clean the temple and rededicate it and make it acceptable again. There was enough oil in the Hanukkah menorah to last one night, but it took 8 days and 8 nights to do this, and it lasted for the whole duration. And so the 8 candles of light.
That is one of the great traditions of Hanukkah. How, in other ways, is Hanukkah celebrated in the traditional family?
Well, like many holidays in the Jewish calendar, what's really nice about it, it takes place mainly at home. I mean, we come to the synagogue and we sing and we enjoy and we pray, but it really is home-centered. It's about people. It's about your parents, about children, lighting these simple lights. It's dark out this time of year. We're up against the winter solstice. We put the candle in the window every night after it's lit with as many candles as are lit that night to advertise the miracle, to share our joy in the simple beauty of people winning their right to be themselves. There are certain foods that are a part of it. You know, Jews always have to eat something to make a holiday work. It's the potato latkes in Europe and America. In Israel, it's donuts.
It's donuts, right.
But somebody's going to eat something. And there is also a modest sharing of gifts called Hanukkah Geld to symbolize our joy. That's not so modest anymore, and
Yes,
that's part of the concern that we're talking about.
Do you feel like that's gotten commercial too?
Well, I think a lot of religion has become commercial, yes. There's no question about it. I mean, on one hand, I understand the tension. Jewish children in America are not blind and not deaf. They see and they hear this explosion of Christmas commercialism, and they want a piece of the action. I mean, I understand that. It's human nature. And I'm not sure we can deny it entirely. But I'd like to see everybody in America just calm down a little bit and talk to their children or to their parents and to their neighbors about the meaning of light, about hope, about what it means to believe in a messianic dream, whatever it may be, to converse about that and to pray a little bit. We can all use that because Jews and Christians together in January wind up very unhappy. And only MasterCard is happy in January. And those kind of companies.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to have you with us to sort things out and
Thank you very
bring
much.
some meaning. Thank you.
Give us a perspective. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah to you, and God bless.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
There are 26,000 good holiday reasons to shop Union Stores this Christmas season. Here are just a few of them. At Union Stores, we know how important your family is. That's because we have families too. That's why we do everything we can for you. We make sure you get high-quality goods, old-fashioned personal service, and it still won't cost you a cent more this holiday. We want to thank everyone who shops Union with us. From our 26,000 members and families to yours, happy holidays. Local 880, the United Food and Commercial Workers.
A doctor can actually see where you feel dryness when you take some sinus medicines. Many contain ingredients that make sensitive nasal tissue feel dry and uncomfortable. But now there's Sudafed non-drying sinus. Sudafed's non-drowsy decongestant, plus an extra medication in a formula to help keep nasal tissue moist and comfortable while it relieves sinus pressure. Take the right sinus medicine. Sudafed non-drying sinus drains away sinus pressure without drying you out.
You've probably been good enough this year, but you can never be too sure. Just look what $10 will buy at Walgreens. 3 sets of 100 mini lights, 3 porcelain mini houses, each with 2 attached figures, or 3 Disney or Barbie decoupage ornaments, or 3 rolls or packs of Christmas wrap, just $10. This week at Walgreens, where you can pay for everything with your Novus cards.
Come get to know us all over again. Come and let us show you all over again. Come in for a while, you like our new style. The store is the stuff, it's more than enough to come get to know us all over again. Oh. Randall Park, come again. You'll like what you see. Come get to know us all over again.
Accuracy. It's why you've made us Ohio's most watched weather team. Now, we're doing even more for you. See it before it hits. Tower Cam 5. Track its approach. Storm Track 5. And now, Instant 5 weather. Live pinpoint weather conditions anywhere, everywhere. Weather changes, technology changes. We're ready for both. Don Webster and Ohio's most watched weather team. Only on News Channel 5.
Join Regis and Kathy Lee in Niagara Falls on the next Live.
Good morning, Exchange, this beautiful Friday, December the 6th. The Town Hall Speaker Series here in Cleveland, Ohio is one of the most successful speakers programs across the country. One of the reasons that's the case is the wonderful quality of speakers that we have coming to Cleveland. Today, one of the special speakers we have is Ambassador Richard Holbrook. Mr. Ambassador, you've had an exceptionally distinguished career across a series of presidents, but exceptionally also well known for your accomplishments on the Dayton Peace Accords. I guess I would frame my first question for you in a town of significant ethnic populations like here in Cleveland, large Croatian, Serbian, Slovenian population. I'm of Slovenian descent myself. The problems of Bosnia are very real and very personal. Are you happy where you find the Bosnian situation today, and what in your crystal ball would you predict for the future?
Well, first of all, Dennis, it's great to be back in Ohio because it brings back memories of Dayton. We chose Dayton because Wright-Patterson Air Base had a terrific infrastructure where we could isolate the people. But the multi-ethnic character of Ohio was an ever-present factor, and I kept saying to Milosevic and Izetbegovic and Tudjman and the other people there, look at Ohio, where people live in harmony with each other and they keep their conflict to softball games on Sundays between various churches and so on and so forth. All the ethnic communities you mentioned, plus others like the Albanian Americans, all came down to Dayton. We were also lifted at Dayton by the spiritual support of the people of Dayton and of Ohio. Now, in regard to your question, a year after the agreements, the country is at peace. Nobody has been killed there in any significant way, and this has been done at the cost of no loss of American or NATO lives, none, unlike the UN, which took heavy casualties. In that sense, I'm very pleased. The war is over. But the peace has not been won. There are major goals still to be achieved and a tremendous task that lies ahead.
The demonstrations in Belgrade, the fear, as the Christian Science Monitor reports this weekend, that some of these thugs, war criminals, if you will, may walk away. Will we, as a people, be responsive and responsible for bringing justice to the atrocities, to address the atrocities that occurred there?
Now, under the Dayton agreements, the people, the parties are supposed to cooperate with the International War Crimes Tribunal. They have not all done so. NATO has the authority to enforce that provision. I'm not in a position as a private citizen to say whether they will or not, but I sure hope they will.
Now, as a private citizen, you nonetheless were frequently bandied about as a candidate for high office in the President's second-term cabinet. Yesterday, with the announcement of a mutual friend of ours, Madeleine Albright, moving from the United Nations to Secretary of State and the defense team in place, your assessment of Clinton's preparations now for his second term?
Well, Madeleine Albright was one of my closest colleagues, not only in this administration, but going all the way back to the Carter years. I think she's a terrific choice for the job. It's a very strong team. She and I were absolute allies on the Bosnia issue. I know she's going to be a strong supporter of enlarging NATO, which is an issue of great importance here in Ohio. She is of Czech background herself. You're a Slovene, she's a Czech. You can talk about your communality, and both Slovenia and the Czech Republic are, I hope, future members of NATO. So I think it's a very strong team.
Well, we're going to get a very strong speech from you, I'm sure, at the Town Hall series this afternoon. You're enjoying private life now, after serving several presidents and several administrations?
I am. I'm a vice chairman with First Boston, a New York investment bank, and enjoying it a lot, but I remain available to the president. He has called on me a couple of times already, and I talked to him yesterday, and I look forward to doing whatever I can to assist him in the second term.
Well, we've been blessed with your service, and we hopefully can be blessed with better weather. Mark, do we have better news for the balance of today and this weekend?
Well, it all depends. Better news, yeah, that we're not going to get any major snowstorm, but not so good news if you're looking for sunshine. Not going to be a whole lot of it out there. We are back inside the Arthur Garford home. Yep, turn of the century. It was built. Actually, the family moved in back in 1895. Arthur passed away in 1933. His wife passed away 2 years later. From 1935 to 1948, the house was pretty much vacant. Then it was purchased and used as a boarding house. So some of you out there who may be watching or may have fathers or grandfathers who worked on the turnpike, Well, this is where workers who were building the turnpike actually stayed. This is where they lived and slept while they were working on the highway, believe it or not, in the Garford home. Right now, let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Well, not bad, but not necessarily good as far as weather goes. It's going to remain kind of gray and dreary. Some of you like a lot of clouds. Some of you like cold. Okay, this is for you then. In the upper 30s, close to 40 degrees, pretty much all weekend long. And there's a chance each day that we could see a snow flurry, maybe a snow shower, or maybe even a raindrop mixing in. But as I mentioned, we're not talking about anything that's going to slow you down, keep you from shopping. Alrighty, a lot of the florists have their work inside the Garford home, and that's what folks would like you to come in and take a look at. This is kind of an interesting piece, huh? A little ivy there, a little gold stuff, leaves. Let's take a look now at this short break. More of the Morning Exchange coming up. Stay with us.
Why is this Saturday different from every other Saturday? Because it's Super Saturday at Value City. Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., you'll find amazing savings on all your gift needs throughout the store. Like boys' Wrangler jeans for only $5.99. Plus, you can cut out tons of money-saving coupons in the newspaper. With these coupons, you can save up to 75% on some special gifts. So get cutting. Don't miss Super Saturday at Value City Department Store. Because if you miss this sale, you'll really wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
There has never been anything like this before. We have a new lens at LensCrafters called DuraThins.
Watch this.
Compared to regular lenses, DuraThins are lighter, they're thinner, they're 10 times more impact resistant and almost twice as scratch resistant. You won't find DuraThins anywhere else. And at LensCrafters, we can make them in about an hour. They're comfortable, they're safe, they're durable. They let me help people to see better.
Much more comfortable.
When I know that they are truly, truly satisfied and happy, it is the best part of the day.
New DuraThins, only at LensCrafters.
Introducing Superior Bank FSB's Holiday Home Loan Program that allows qualified homeowners to make no payments until March of next year. That's right, no monthly mortgage payments until March of next year. This is a limited time offer, so call now, because the sooner you apply, the sooner you can stop making mortgage payments. There are no application fees, most credit and income accepted. Call Superior now and make no mortgage payments until March of 1997.
At American Dental Centers, we want you to be satisfied with your dental care. That's why the doctors and staff go the extra mile for you.
We'd like you to be able to see us when it's most convenient for you.
That's why we're open evenings and weekends in a nearby mall or shopping center.
We want you to know what you're paying for.
That's why we give you a written estimate before treatment starts.
So call today, because at American Dental Centers, we'd like to keep you smiling beautifully.
American Dental Centers are now open on Sunday.
At Alpine Valley, you'll find that our snow is always well groomed. Alpine Valley Ski Area. The fun starts here.
Hi, this is Beatrice Ojakangis. Did I get it right?
That's right.
Yay!
That's right.
She's a master baker. She sells all kinds of cookbooks out and deals a lot with baking. And today we wanted to show you how you can have some great holiday fun with your kids with butter cookies.
You really can. You know, we have a leaflet with the ultimate butter cookie recipe in it.
We'll give that at the end.
And well, the reason I'm talking about that is because it's based on butter, because butter will make the cookie really easy to handle and it'll just taste delicious.
So butter substitutes you don't recommend at holiday time?
First of all, you want the flavor and you want the performance, which comes from butter.
Right.
And the cookies will. The amazing thing is, you make this dough, and it has it's very simple. We've got fresh egg, real butter, flour, and sugar. And you know,
And a little salt.
And a little bit of salt, and then you just make the dough and you let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, or refrigerate it for about an hour, which develops the flavor.
Okay. Oh, it is better to keep it in overnight?
It is, yeah. The flavor will develop.
It's like a good soup. Huh?
That's right,
Tastes
yeah.
better.
And it's because of the butter in there.
Okay.
It brings out that flavor. And then, you know, in our folder, we have recipes for other cookies that have, where we gave the recipes out to chefs, you know, and they developed some really nifty recipes with flavorings in them.
Well, in case they wonder what we're doing, now they can see here.
We're making pretzels.
Yeah, pretzel butter. Now let's see here. Mine, whoops, mine's a little anemic there.
Well, you know, this is something so much fun to do with kids.
Fell apart.
It's really fun to do this with kids. I mean, this is what kids
It's like you're doing it with a kid now.
You know what you can do? Make your
start over. That's what you can do.
Make your initial. C.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, you could just
make your children's initials.
Have your children do that. I mean, you know, they say they're making snakes when they do this.
I really did make others.
Yeah. I mean, you can make S's.
Okay. Let's see.
Backwards. See. An S.
You can bake up anything they want, yeah.
Oh, sure. You can make it into a nice C or a 0 or whatever, you know.
But once you refrigerate it for a while, what we're having to do is we got to work with it a while.
Yeah, it does. See, it gets a little bit crumbly, but then this is the fun part. You know, you work with it and it gets kind of pliable. It's very easy to work with.
Okay.
And anyway, I was going to say that we have all these other variations of flavors, and where there's a really great Hungarian butternut cookie where pecans are added, and the pecan flavor just comes out when it's...
Because of the butter?
Because of the butter, and because it's aged. I mean, you let the dough sit for at least an hour.
Let's show them what you can do, because you found some ways then, too, to present them. Once you've made these, how you present them as a really nice holiday gift, too. First of all, for Santa here.
For Santa, we have
Santa'd have to be awfully hungry, though, to eat that whole plate.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, you know, you want a few left over, don't you?
Yes, you do.
With a couple glasses of milk.
So those are the pretzel cookies after you put on a little bit of the colored sugar.
You use colored sugar. That's what we were doing here, and that's very, very simple.
I like
but we have a lot of other flavors in here, too, that are kind of... And there's even a buttery arugula, one of the variations in the leaflet, so that if people are baking for the
Show them this idea back here. If you know somebody who's
really
a jogger or a walker, we may have to hold this up.
Okay. Should I pick that up?
Sure, why don't you?
Okay.
I'll hold it for you.
The idea is to get a simple gift that somebody is sure to use, and stuff it with butter cookies and give it to them. Yeah. We didn't put some paper, you know, cellophane over the top because it kind of reflects on the camera, but you can wrap it all in cellophane and put a nice bow on top, and that's a great
nice gift for a walker.
Fun gift. Okay. And, you know, we've used big, like a cappuccino mug here, and that's kind of fun. You can give that to an office mate or a neighbor or somebody you might share cappuccino with.
And then fill those up with the cookies.
Right. You know, your imagination can just go wild. Look at this. Isn't this sweet? It's a little Snoopy with dog bone-shaped butter cookies. Oh. Well, if you want to eat Snoopy's cookies, you know. And then we have some in a basket. Big glass mugs are really fun to fill with cookies and give them as gifts.
How about if you're going to ship these? How well do these hold up? How well would the cookies hold up if they were going through the mail?
First of all, I would pick a sturdy shape, like the pretzels will hold really well. Okay. There are some others, like you can make little thumbprints or the round ball cookies. I wouldn't make cutout cookies with some, you know, delicate features on it because they wouldn't hold up very well. But you package them separately so they have buffers, you know, in a tin or something that will buffer the cookies, and then layer them.
For the kids to have fun, when you cut out the different shapes that we do, you bet. But when we cut out the shapes, it's just let them do what they will,
Let them do what they want and give them full reign of imagination. Yeah. This candy cane reminds me, I have a wonderful candy cane recipe in the leaflet that's flavored with almond and anise, and the dough is tinted, half of it is tinted pink, and you just roll the two together, make candy canes. It's really a great tasting recipe.
Fun to make the icing in all these different colors. The kids love to put in the colors too, don't they? Do you deal at all with gingerbread and gingerbread houses in your books?
I do. I've done gingerbread houses. In fact, what I did was I made a gingerbread house and left the roof loose so that you could fill it with cookies.
Oh, what a great idea.
Give that as a gift. Or use it as a centerpiece. That's kind of fun, too.
It is fun.
But we want to mention the...
We'll give away that. We'll tell them how they can get a hold of that. First, let's let them know how they can get the basic recipe here that you've done for the sugar cookies, and that is write to us at Morning Exchange, P.O. Box 94551. We're in Cleveland with our zip code being 44101-4551. And what you'll want to ask for is newsletter number 321. Now, the brochure that you have talked about here, that has all of the different ideas in it. As you're seeing the book here, great holiday baking book that Beatrice has written. 1-800-778-6455 will give you information and get you this pamphlet that she has written here. Let me put that right down in front. There, you can see it down here. How's that? And with that, you get all those ideas that you had for the sugar cookies with all of the different recipes and the ideas.
7 different recipes in one leaflet. You'll want to keep that so that you can, because the cookies, it's a very good recipe.
That sounds great. And they get that free of charge?
Free of charge. It's a free leaflet.
It's a little holiday gift.
A holiday gift, right.
Thank you, Beatrice.
Thank you very much.
Nice
Have a cookie.
Oh, sure. Here, here's one for you. We'll be back just a moment. Thanks.
It's the night after Christmas, and all the people you really care about are sleeping peacefully. All because you took advantage of ADT's special holiday sale. You installed an ADT security system in your home. Now you and your family enjoy the peace of mind of having an ADT security system for as low as $99.
Yes, this is Maria with ADT Security.
ADT helps protect over 1 million homes across the country with state-of-the-art technology and 24-hour monitoring by security professionals. And during this holiday season, there's never been a better time to help provide for your family's security and also keep them safe from fire. Call now and you'll get ADT monitored fire protection free. After all, what gift could be better than giving your loved ones peace of mind? Happy holidays from ADT.
Hometown proud. IGA supermarkets have been a part of hometowns like yours for 70 years, providing more quality, selection, and savings. Hillshire Farm smoked sausage or kielbasa, $1.79 a pound. Hunt snack pack pudding, 99 cents. Minute Maid frozen orange juice, 99 cents. And IGA's buy of the week, Prego spaghetti sauce, $1.89. Happy holidays from IGA.
Fill your home with comfort and joy this holiday season. Shop Value City Furniture, where rocker recliners are only $198. Curios start at just $99. And choose from student desks, wood rockers, bookcases, a touch lamp with clock base, even a porcelain doll for only $9.88. The comfort is getting the guaranteed lowest prices. The joy is getting your family something they can really use. Now that's good tidings from Value City Furniture.
Hello, I'm Kathy Davis. Tribe tickets go on sale on Saturday, and our live cameras will show you what those Tribe fans go through just to get a seat. That's Saturday.
From Ohio's most watched news team, News Channel 5 continues.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jenny Krim with some of the latest. Some don't think that Ford does have a better idea if the auto company closes down the assembly plant in Lorain and the engine plant in Cleveland. Rumor has it that this could happen. However, Ford executives are denying it, but add that they are searching for ways to cut costs to make it more competitive. Currently, Ford's profits per car are the lowest among the big three automakers. Join us at noon for all the day's news, and now it's back to more of the Morning Exchange.
We are back with a few little friends here.
And we have extra guests with us this morning.
Yeah, but these guests were brought by our guest. Dr. Bob Stanberry is with us this morning. Hi there.
Hello there.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good. Thanks for bringing us a little pets here. Oh, I hear one.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about winter care of our pets, huh?
One of the big things, of course, is everybody has to put antifreeze in the car. And antifreeze, a teaspoon of antifreeze will kill these cats.
Oh dear.
So when you're out there and you're doing the antifreeze and you're changing the thing, you can take some kitty litter and get that up. But even just a little drop, and amazing enough, the chemical is called ethylene glycol, and it just literally will pickle the kidneys. And in a matter of hours, they can have all kinds of neurological signs and things like that. And even when you're putting the washer fluid in there, you have to be real careful because it has the same agent at a much lower concentration. But that's so it doesn't freeze when you're the windshield wipers and that. So this is probably the most toxic. Now, fortunately, we don't see a whole lot of cases of this. But the real problem here is we've got to be so careful on watching this.
But speaking of antifreeze, you do have to kind of winterize your pets, don't you?
Yeah.
What are the kinds of precautions that we need to be careful of?
In other words, this is a little Midnight here. She's 7 weeks old and is a little Persian and just adorable. The lady brought her in yesterday for her first set of shots. I said, oh, we've got to take her on TV in the morning. And so she's just a delight. Of course, on a little guy like this, we think, boy, we got to keep him nice and warm and whatever. And when the guys go outside, everyone wonders, do I need to get a coat for my...
And you see those. You see them sold. They're so cute.
Yeah. And it's really so funny. We had a lady, she was taking a knitting course, and she was making her course, this little coat for her little German Shepherd. Well, by the time she finished the coat, the German Shepherd weighed about 90 pounds. She said, have you ever seen a German Shepherd with a shawl? And so sometimes we have to think these guys are going to get bigger. But again, most animals really do quite well. And just like we have summer people and winter people, all the summer people are down in Florida now. They don't like the winter. And some dogs, boy, they go out, they do their business, and man, they're back in a shot. And other guys, boy, they'll just go out and they'll just lay in the snow and lounge around and just have a great time. So again, if you think your animal's getting a little cold outside and you want to try one of the various coats or things, but most of them really don't need it.
What about eating snow? Our Sheltie goes out and just thinks it's the backyard is one huge ice cream cone.
I know. Well, the
letting
problem
them eat
is,
so much is okay?
It's like when you eat ice cream too fast, you get that little thing in your throat. So again, it's like anything else. But one of the things that you do have to watch is that when we put the various agents down to break up the ice and whatever, then sometimes these agents that break up the salt and whatever can cause problems. So we have to, kind of watch that they don't get into that. And unfortunately, sometimes then they can get in their pads as well. And so if the dogs are out in that type of thing, you may want to check that.
Do you clean them more often then in the winter if they've been out in dirty snow and out among things?
Oftentimes when they come in, you want to go ahead and wipe off their feet. We let our dog out yesterday, and she came in the back door, and she goes walking across, and of course it's all dirty. And so a lot of times we do it for the animal's well-being, but also it'll also help on the house. You have a nice light-colored carpeting. They're out running around through all this stuff, and you can see the paw prints there. So oftentimes, if you can go ahead and dry them off. And some of these dogs have quite a bit of hair in their feet, and what'll happen is they'll get little ice balls in there. So they'll come in, you'll dry them off, and as they're walking around, these little ice balls are melting later down the road. And so, again, if they get that in there...
do you worry about frozen paws?
Well, generally, they have to be out there a while.
Like how long? What's a general rule of thumb about how long they could be out? Let's say we're hovering around freezing this week, around 32. How long could they really go out?
Most of the time, I guess I would just say, how long would you want to be out there? You know what I mean? Now, like these huskies, I mean, they live out there.
Yeah, but we don't have coats on us like they do. We don't have
and so the thing is, most of the time, if they go out there, boy, they'll let you know. But let's say you take your dog for a 2-mile walk. In the winter, you may not want to walk quite that far because they can pull their back and get to various stretches and pains and problems like that.
Do they get ear infections? I mean, do they get many of the same things we do?
They catch colds?
Well, in other words, now this is a debatable area here. All too often, little kids get colds and whatever, and they're hugging on the dogs and cats and whatever. Now, I think in so many instances, these animals can be the typhoid Mary here, in that we give them our bug, they hold it, the kids go on antibiotics, kids go off antibiotics, then they're hugging the animals, and then they get their own bug back. So lots of times, if in fact you're a situation, man, the kids are just sick, we just can't shake this bug. One of the things you may want to do, if it just seems to be running and it's just not the normal routine, then you may want to go ahead and have the animals checked. They may or may not be sick, but sometimes, like the doctor or the pediatrician say, okay, that's it, everybody goes on antibiotics. Well, sometimes we need to put the pets on on as well.
Would they stay on as long as we do?
Well, yeah, about 10 days. Now, that's more if, like, the kids have the strep type thing. I sure don't want to make a pitch, so to speak, in that every time one of the kids gets the flu, we have to run the dog into the veterinarian and get antibiotics, because that's not the case.
Okay, all right.
I mean, most of these animals, you know, and this is one of the fun things I love about being a vet. People come in and they pick up the animals and they do this, and we're talking to them, and you know, that's this whole human-animal bond is remarkable. We've told our pets things that nobody else on the planet knows, you know? And they never tell on us.
No doubt about
that.
Yeah, I know
it. They never tell on us.
We're going to take a little break. We'll come back and we'll take your phone calls. 578-1000.
Lovers, let me show you the tiny little secret behind Tetley's Pure Tea taste.
Tiny, Tetley. Not tiny, not Tetley.
We Tetley tea folk wouldn't choose anything but tiny little tea leaves. They're our secret source of Tetley's Pure Tea taste.
Tiny, oh my word.
We are a tiny bit obsessive, but your Tetley will taste the purer for it.
Pure taste is tiny little tea leaves in Tetley tea.
Tiny Tetley leaves, pure Tetley taste.
The smart clapper.
Clap things on. Clap things off. Just plug it in. Clap on your lights before you enter a room. Clap on the music. Turn the dial. Lights will turn on at the slightest sound. And clap on your TV without getting up.
Clap on, clap off.
Thanks. The Smart Clapper.
The Smart Clapper is available at Discount Drug, Kmart, Medic, and Walgreens. Makes a great gift.
For Christmas and all year round, nothing escapes the power of a dirt devil.
Pressure and stress, they can bring on acid indigestion. You need powerful relief. Rolaids can absorb 47% more acid than regular Tums, and it works fast. When life puts the screws to you, Rolaids spells relief.
Some cold medicines can make you drowsy and over-dry sinuses. But new Sudafed Cold and Sinus relieves cold symptoms and sinus pain without over-drying or drowsiness. Feel better, not worse, with Sudafed Cold and Sinus.
They're Ohio's most watched investigative team for a reason. Tom Merriman took you to France, tracking down a rapist for a local woman searching for final justice. Bill Shield exposed an internet threat to your children in Virtual Vice. Ted Hart put the brakes on a driving school going in the wrong direction. And Jacqueline McLean uncovered more than a minor offense, the sale of cigarettes to your kids. 5 on your side. Ohio's most watched investigative team, only on News Channel 5.
Jeopardy! Tonight at 7:30 on News Channel 5.
Aw, looky here. This happens to be Dr. Stanberry's cat. What's her name?
This is Socks. She's about 5 months old, and I always bring in everybody else's fancy cats, and I brought in my regular old cat. This is a calico. Now this pattern, if you looked at her up here, this is what they call the tortoise shell. But when the color pattern is actually a little bit larger, they call them the calico. Now of course, calicos and the tortoise shell can only be female. It's a genetic
thing. Yeah. I didn't know that.
So if you see a calico, it's a female. We were just talking in the break. Of course, everybody talks about poinsettias and how toxic they are. And in people, apparently, there have been a few people that have died. But in animals, it's actually the holly and the mistletoe because they eat the berries.
They eat the berries, and that does not work for them.
That can really cause a problem.
And they don't know, they just intuitively don't know that that's not good for them.
Right. The situation is now like certain birds can eat certain berries that other animals can't. You know, that type of thing. But again, they're just so investigating everything, and they're just into stuff. And like we talked about on an earlier show, getting into ribbons and the tinsel and these types of things. They get into all kinds of trouble.
Those icicle things are very dangerous.
Yeah. We had a cat in the other day. It just came in for routine surgery. We gave it some medicine, and this cat coughed up this. I don't know what kind of a tennis shoe this was from, but there must have been 100 eyelets in this thing, because this thing was 2.5 feet long.
A shoelace?
Yeah, and this little kitten was perfectly fine. But in other words, so the amazing thing is they can do relatively well with something like that for a while. But obviously, 2.5 foot of shoelace is going to cause some problems sometime.
Yeah,
well,
we've got some
that'll catch up with you sooner or later.
Yeah. We've got some folks at home who have some questions for us. Good morning. You have a question for the doctor?
Yes. Good morning to you too. I was wondering, we have a boxer, and he's got a really nice coat and stuff right now, but I mean, to keep it nice and also to keep him so he's like, you know, not itchy or whatever. And also, like, I heard that putting Vaseline on the bottom of their paws, is that a good thing for when it's cold?
You can certainly go ahead and try to do that. The only problem is if you lube those feet up pretty good and then he goes walking across your floor, you could have a problem. Most of the time, you're not really going to have to go ahead and put a Vaseline. Now, if in fact the bottom of the feet get irritated, you want to go ahead and keep those clean, maybe a little Vaseline, or we could take like some Neosporin or something like that. But you want to use just a little bit and rub it in well, because if you leave a bunch of that in there, then what happens is you put that in there, then they lick more trying to get that off, and then so they may end up doing more problems.
And as far as slip sliding.
Oh yeah. And as far as the coats, boxers oftentimes have gorgeous coats, and if you go into any of the pet stores, there are walls of coat conditioners and things like that, and so certainly you can go ahead and try those if need be. A real easy thing to do is when you're taking a shower, pull the pet in the bathroom with you. It's a real cheap steam treatment. You're putting some moisture onto the coat.
You don't try to pull them in the shower.
No. Yeah, you don't have to take a shower. I'm not telling people to shower with your animals. Their coat won't be the least of your problems.
Hi there. What's your question?
Good morning. Happy holidays to all of you. I have a question. You were talking about when they come in from outdoors. With all the rain that we've had lately, our backyard is a mud hole. We have 2 dogs and a cat, but the cat is indoors, thank goodness, so that's 4 paws less to wipe. We have a very large dog and a small dog. When they come in, their paws are just covered in mud, so I just put them in the laundry room and wipe them with a dry towel. But it's still very hard to get between the padding on their foot, and I'm still finding little bits of mud I miss. Is there something I can spray on that towel?
Well, one of the things that you could do would be just to take a little bit of water, like in an old Windex bottle, or fantastic bottle, just kind of spray that and put that in there. There's all kinds of agents, certainly, that you could go ahead really and use, but you're not really trying to break anything down chemically. It's just a matter of trying to get that out there. So probably water would work as well. Or if, in fact, the foot's a little irritated, once hydrogen peroxide oxidizes and fuzzes and buzzes, then it turns to water. So if you want to put a little hydrogen peroxide on there, you could do that if the foot looks like it's a little irritated, something like that. Okay. But water generally would work quite well.
And here's another call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'd like to know what I can do with an Akita that is 12 years old and wants to sleep outside at night. In the daytime, she sleeps by the registers, and as soon as it's 9:30, she goes back and forth until we leave her outside. I'm not so worried about now because it's not too cold, but what am I going to do when it's 0? Thank you.
I don't know why they do this, but in other words, you see these dogs, they go out and they'll dig it's like an igloo. In other words, and they'll just go out and obviously it's not too uncomfortable if the Akita wants to do that, and they have a very thick coat. One of the things that I would be concerned about there a little bit, as these guys get older, then of course they get arthritis, and then that cold, they're laying out in that snow and that cold. You know, we talk about getting chilled to the bones, so to speak. So that may aggravate any arthritis problems that would be there. But I think if the dog likes doing that, I would go ahead and let him do it a little bit. But you know, just use a little common sense and try and limit it a little bit. But when it gets cold enough, they'll come in. Again, you'll have to supervise that a little.
Okay.
Can you keep your dog dry? Is the fur in the coat naturally water repellent or help waterproof?
Yeah, there's an oil. In fact, what happens is oftentimes in an effort to bathe the dog too frequently, we take that oil out of there. And so one of the things we talk about, a lot of people that bathe their animals so frequently, the coat isn't as nice because we're taking that normal oil out of there. And amazingly enough, the layers of the coat in some of the Akitas and the various Huskies and Malamutes and that, they have layers in there. And so, I mean, it shelters them very, very well, protects them very, very well.
I'll give a phone number here, again, at the Bay Village Animal Clinic for Dr. Bob Stanberry, and the phone number is 333-9550 if you have some questions of your own or some concerns about your pets over the winter months here. And how
I think we've put I don't think we've put you to sleep, I hope, Doctor, but we certainly have put together your other guests.
Yeah, they're, you know, hold me all day. You have a half an hour to stop that.
That's exactly right. Well, thank you for bringing extra visitors.
Certainly. And everyone have a great holiday.
Yes, happy holiday to you as well.
Bye-bye. We'll be back in just a moment. Bye-bye. Right now, we're going to check in with Bill for the news. Let's say, hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Oh, what a face. Well, here's some of what we're working on for News Channel 5 at noon today. Neighbors and passersby rob a young mother of her belongings as she gets evicted from her home. We'll have the latest on that story. Police have one person in custody in connection with the murder of an elderly Cleveland woman. We'll have the latest. And how one couple takes their vows to, well, let's put it this way, to new heights. Plus, Mark Johnson soars out of the world. He'll tell us what to expect with our weekend forecast. All that and more coming your way today at noon. And the Morning Exchange will be right back.
Well, we'll ask you now to look down at your feet and then look under them, at the carpet. Do your carpets need cleaned? Well, it can be pretty expensive, but we have a way to get it done for you free.
Free carpet cleaning for 3 rooms of your home and the adjoining hallways. And also this basket full of products. Add-on protectant, doormat, carpet rake, odor out kit, handy groom, and a 32-ounce bottle of spotter, all worth $300.
This is something you could have done before your holiday guests show up at your house. All you have to do is send a postcard to Stanley Steamer Holiday Cleanup Contest. It's P.O. Box 94551 in Cleveland. The zip code is 44101-4551.
Include your name, address, daytime and evening phone numbers, and age. Contestants must be 18 years of age and older to win.
You just have to have them here by Tuesday, December 10th, and our drawing will take place right here on the Morning Exchange, Wednesday, December 11th.
Hello, I'm David Lodge, President of Metropolitan Savings Bank. What would it take to make you switch your checking account to Metropolitan? Low or no monthly fees, high interest, personalized service, more? Call us today. You'll be glad you did.
The Cosmetic Shops, your total beauty source for salon products, department store cosmetics, and designer fragrances, all discounted up to 70% every day. Let our beauty experts help create the look that's perfect for you. The Cosmetic Shops at the Pavilion in Beechwood.
Fill your home with comfort and joy this holiday season. Shop Value City Furniture, where rocker recliners are only $198. Curios start at just $99. And choose from student desks, wood rockers, bookcases, a touch lamp with clock base, even a porcelain doll for only $988. The comfort is getting the guaranteed lowest prices. The joy is getting your family something they can really use. Now that's good tidings from Value City Furniture.
Tune in right here to watch Ohio Lottery's winning numbers drawn live.
You can catch Pick 3 and Pick 4 Monday through Saturday, and don't forget Buckeye 5 every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday nights.
And be sure to watch the Super Lotto and Kicker drawings every Wednesday and Saturday.
So tune in weekdays at 7:29 and Saturdays starting at 7:30 during Cash Explosion Double Play, TV's richest game show.
It's all right here on News Channel 5.
Are you receiving money from a structured settlement, annuity, or insurance claim? Do you have a need for cash now? At J.G. Wentworth, we've helped thousands of people settle their debts, buy new homes, pay college tuitions, and open new businesses. If you're currently receiving money from a structured settlement, annuity, or insurance claim, but you need money now, call J.G. Wentworth. Call now. Operators are standing by. Call 1-800-FUND-582.
Ho, ho, ho! It's famous
Famous Footwear's 10 to 33% off entire store sale. Boots, athletics, dress, and casuals for the whole family. 10 to 33% off. Get famous. Famous Footwear.
Hello, everybody. I'm Don Webster. Be sure to join us this week when teams from Heimattuning Valley, Norway, and Newbury meet on It's Academic.
Well, welcome back. Tomorrow is the 55th anniversary, I think, of Pearl Harbor, a date that's been very important in my family. My dad is a Pearl Harbor survivor, so I have lived with these stories. Yvonne Kent, who is a World War II veteran, I guess it's a war bride, Middleburg Heights, has not only a book, but some wonderful stories to tell us about the commemoration of the 55th anniversary of the beginning of the U.S. involvement in the war, and of course in the years that followed. Yvonne, welcome.
Good morning to you.
Nice
You were telling us first that you were there serving with the Royal Air Force. Is that right?
Yes, I was not quite 16 when the war started. We were living under the threat of it. I grew up 10 miles from London, and we were living under the threat of it for a couple of years. But we thought we were out of the woods. Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain went and talked to Adolf Hitler, came back waving this paper, "Peace in our time." But in actual fact, he left it and just led us down the garden path to the very catastrophe we wanted to avoid. When Hitler did go into Poland, I mean, it was very exciting for the girls. I had a wonderful time during the war. There were things that I could do that would never have come my way. My cousin was called up. He was in the Naval Reserve.
We have some great pictures here that chronicle that time.
This is when you had advanced, though. This was past the Royal Air Force time, right? Is this
no,
when you were
this one is the one picture I have of me in the women's branch of the Royal Air Force. It's awful.
Oh, no, come on.
No.
Now, here you are then serving with some of the other servicemen. Now, there weren't many women over there, right?
Well, I'm English. I'm not American.
Yes.
I still am a British subject.
But you live here in Middleburg Heights now?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
How many women did you serve with?
Well, I was on 3 American Air Force bases, and on each one there were 2 American Red Cross girls.
And that's it.
So you go on a base, you go out in the country, 100 miles from London. There are 3 women living on a base with thousands of GIs.
And how was that experience?
Had to be a very popular opportunity.
Right. Well, I remember when I first got there, the cafeteria at the Red Cross Club wasn't open yet. It was on the base. And so I went with the 2 American girls, Holly and Nancy, over for dinner, and we walked into the officers' club, the officers' mess. And you know, they were all talking, and suddenly I walked in with them, and there was silence. And it was hard. I mean, I had no place to hide. I didn't know where to go. But I sat up at the top with the CO and had a good time. I was known later, apparently, as Miss Victoria. Well, you know, when you get nervous, you get a little uptight and stuffy. And
well, wartime romance is tough. Given the pressures, the threat of the invasion of England, all of these Americans coming, this do or die, how does one have a romance in that environment?
Well, I can tell you that in the book...
Oh, I think we have a picture. Is this a picture of...
Your husband's let me tell you that. That picture, Glenn Miller is there, and the man that I married with the saxophone is to this side of Glenn Miller. And that picture was taken only 2 weeks before Glenn Miller was lost. That was in November 1944. And
it's a real piece of history right there.
Yes, yes. And my husband said that Glenn Miller was the nicest man you ever met. He was known to be a perfectionist about his music, so he thought that it may be rather rough to play with him, but no, it was wonderful.
Is this your wedding?
Oh, yes, there we are. All right, that's me. You know, there was great clothes rationing, so nobody had a wedding dress, or just about nobody. My nice stepmother, that's Inez on that side, my dad, she saved all her clothes ration coupons for a year for me so I could get a new dress. Way to the side of Al Kent is Father Hewitt, who was a Catholic priest who was wonderful. He said he was going to pray for me, and I think he has.
And this is a picture with you and your dad before you left?
Yes. You know, no one wins in a war. There's no 2 ways about it. My father was in World War I. He was in the cavalry. and then he had 2 daughters. I married an American and left. My sister married an American and left.
Yvonne, before we lose you with our time here, you do a lot of speaking about it. It's important that the younger generation understands what happened in World War II. I know you visited high schools. Can you just tell us a little bit about that? Because I think there are many people who could benefit tremendously from your experiences.
If you talk to young people who are just in high school and ask them, what do you know about World War II, you draw almost a complete blank and they look sorry for you. But there are still 8 million, over 8 million World War II veterans around. Now, they are an endangered species. They're not like the spotted owl. We can't save them. They're going. But they have wonderful stories to tell. I know they would like to be asked. There is almost not a family anywhere that didn't have someone in World War II. Ask them, what did you do in the war?
As a matter of fact, you have a book about this. It's going to be coming out soon called Don't Say Goodbye, Broken Hearts Never Mend. Yvonne Kent. And you'll be doing some signings at Borders at Westlake. That'll be tomorrow.
Yes.
2 o'clock. And what do you tell students who come there? Do many youngsters come?
The one thing I like to say is just ask them, were you in the war? What did you do? Because they like that, and you will be surprised how well they remember what happened.
It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your life's experiences with us.
All right. Thank you.
Well, right now we're going to check in and see what's happening around town with today's community calendar, and let's see what you can learn. Here's what's going on. We have Quota International, which is a service organization of business and professional people. It's dedicated to community service and financial assistance to the hearing and speech impaired and disadvantaged women and children. Quota International of Lorraine presents its annual fundraising concert at the Lorraine Palace Civic Center, and that's Saturday, and that's at 7 o'clock.
Has anyone ever told you that with your talent and good looks you should be on television? No, that's not a problem for me, but here's your chance. New York acting coach Ron Milkey presents a workshop and seminar. Oh, see, obviously I can't even talk. In Cleveland on soap operas, film, and TV commercials. That's December 7th and 8th.
Also, get your business set for success. You can come to Business After Hours, and that's this coming Monday from 5:30 to 8 o'clock. It's at the Cleveland Marriott downtown at Key Center. The event is hosted by the Greater Cleveland Growth Association. Now, if you have something that you'd like everybody to know about, all you need to do is drop us a line here to Community Calendar, 3001 Euclid Avenue in Cleveland, and our zip code is 44115. Let us know the who, what, where, whens, and hows, and we'll get it out to everybody else. All right. Movie tickets. Here we go. We have 10 pair of tickets to give away to Michelle Pfeiffer's new movie, and also
One Fine Day.
George
Clooney.
That's it. Here we go. One Fine Day. And all you have to do is give us a call right now. We have tickets for Monday, which is December the 16th, not this coming Monday. We have 10 pair we'll give away to go out and see the premiere at Great Northern, and that will be before anybody else gets a chance to see it. So why don't you give us a call. What caller do you want to start with?
Let's call number 5.
Okay, so we'll start with caller number 5, and we'll take 10 pair from there. Right now, let's check back in with Mark and see what's happening outside.
Back here in Elyria, folks, you know what? As I told you yesterday, a sign of prestige in any turn-of-the-century home is a dead animal hanging on the wall. And indeed, here at the Arthur Garford home, the Hickories, as it's called, we do have a big moose, but this is not just any ordinary moose. Come on down. Follow me, folks. This is a very important moose. We're going to tell you all about that. To find out a little more about the moose and the history, I'm going to bring back out Karen Adinolfi. Karen, Teddy Roosevelt and this moose have something, they go together?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Arthur Garford and Teddy Roosevelt met in 1895, and they remained friends throughout Mr. Garford's life. In 1912, Teddy Roosevelt wasn't real happy with the way the Republican Party was doing things. And
imagine that.
Imagine that.
Okay.
So he tried to get the nomination for himself, and he failed in that, but he decided to form his own party.
The Bull Moose Party.
The Bull Moose Party, or the Progressive Party.
Okay.
And here in Ohio, Arthur Garford ran for governor in 1912 under the Progressive, or the Bull Moose Party. And again in 1914, he ran for U.S. Senate. And he lost both times, and after losing both times, he did retire from active political life. But in gratitude for his help here in Ohio, Teddy Roosevelt presented this moose to Arthur Garford.
And Roosevelt was actually here at one time.
Yes, he was.
Stayed here.
Yes, he did.
Supped here. And watched the moose together.
And here's the moose.
All right, very good. We have a phone number if you want to come out. Again, you're having a program tonight, correct?
Yes, we are. It's our 3rd annual Candlelight Holiday here at the Hickories. And
phone
we
number's
have,
up on your screen.
It's 322-3341, and we have florists from around the county who have come in and decorated just beautifully.
They've done a nice job.
Yeah, so we invite everyone to come out and have a good time, have some food and drink, and see the beautiful decorations.
Terrific. All righty, let's take a look at our weather quickly. Still cloudy. Nothing has changed. We also have a couple of sprinkles and snowflakes out there. Notice in Indiana, that's the next weather system coming our way. That's not going to be in here till tonight, but that will bring us some light rain and some light snow, so nothing major. 33 Cleveland, 32 Elyria, 31 Akron, Canton, 30 in Mansfield. Our high today about 37 to 39, depending on where you are. Cloudy all day long, but hey, shop till you drop. I think you can do it. All righty, that's it from the, well, here's the 5-day. Look at that. All righty, looks like for the weekend, again, just pesky little scattered flurries and snow showers and perhaps a little rain mixing in at times. Back here at the Arthur Garford home, the Hickories, the Lorain County Historical Society has done a fantastic job. And I have one thing to say. Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Want a donut? That's Bullwinkle, folks. We'll be back after this. Give me that donut.
You know us. We're Stop and Shop Supermarkets, your holiday food store. From our family to yours, we've got everything you need to make your holiday feast joyous. From holiday hams and shrimp platters to deli party trays to fresh-baked holiday cookies and pastries, as well as floral centerpieces and custom-made fruit, cheese, and wine baskets. And while you're here, don't forget to pick up some Stop and Shop gift certificates for that special friend or family member. Our family cares about your family. Stop and Shop Supermarkets.
To test pans with the DuPont Silverstone Select surface, we dropped them off at real-life homes. Then we came back for the results. And the pans. Seems people grew rather attached to them because Silverstone Select took the heat and everything else families could dish out. It's our most durable Silverstone yet. Frankly, we've never seen results quite like this. DuPont Silverstone Select for pans that take whatever you dish out. You'll find Silverstone Extra on Kitchen Traditions cookware at Hill's department stores.
You know, life moves at many speeds. And when life is good, it moves at your speed. Now there's a mall that understands the way you live and the way you shop. It's South Park Center. South Park Center. Shopping at the speed of life. I-71 and Route 82 in Strongsville.
Shattering news, Cleveland. At long last, it's coming back. The legendary story, the heart-grabbing music, the international phenomenon, the Phantom of the Opera, the award-winning musical event that has captured the imagination of theatergoers around the world. Now it's your turn to surrender to the music of the night. Cleveland's triumphant return engagement begins April 17th at the State Theater. Call Advantix at 216-241-6000 today.
What do Dennis Rodman and Martha Stewart have in common? I'm Lee Jordan. Barbara Walters tells us about this year's 10 most fascinating people. Today, live on 5.
We're taking you to Niagara Falls for the next Live with actor Jeff Daniels, singer Anne Murray, and 70s heartthrob David Cassidy on Live.
Live with Regis and Kathy Lee. Today at 11.
And it's time now to talk with Shelley Long, who is joining us on the satellite. She is off in Hollywood, I suppose. Where are you, Shelley?
I'm actually in New York City.
You are. Is that where you live, Shelley?
No, I live in Hollywood. I live in Los Angeles.
So what are you doing in New York?
Well, we're doing some other things. We did the Rosie O'Donnell show and whatever, and so we're in New York City.
You're on making the rounds, as they say, huh?
Yeah, making the rounds via satellite, which is great. And I'm from the Midwest. I don't know if you know that.
No,
but,
where are you from?
I'm from Indiana.
Hey, me too. Where?
Yeah, at Fort Wayne.
Oh, okay, I used to drive up there. That was the big city. I was from Winchester.
Oh, wow.
Which is way down.
My dad grew up in Elyria, so I have relatives in Cleveland.
Oh, he did? Well, there you go. You want to tell anybody hi? Any relatives you want to say hi to?
Sure. Hi, relatives.
Hi to all of you in Elyria.
You know who you are.
There you go, Shelley. Well, you have a movie that's coming out you wanted to tell us about. It's going to be on Lifetime on Monday.
It starts on Monday, yes, the 9th, and I'm not sure in your time zone, maybe 7 o'clock,
okay.
But check it. It starts broadcasting on the 9th, but will be throughout December and even on Christmas Day. It's called A Different Kind of Christmas, and it's different for a few reasons, naturally. One of them being that it takes place in June. We made it last summer. I play a city attorney. She's a single mom raising her young son. She's running for mayor. She's pretty busy, doing the best she can. And all of a sudden, Santa Claus shows up. And
in June?
In June, yes. And he decorates the outside of his house, the inside, just like it were Christmas. For him, Christmas is every day. And he does his magical things every day, only a lot of people come, a lot of traffic, a lot of garbage. It's creating a nuisance in the neighborhood, and I, being the city attorney, have to tell him, no, I'm sorry, you're not doing this right. And of course, that's real popular with my son.
Yeah.
What leads onward is that we eventually find out that my character has a secret from back in her childhood, a disappointment and hurt, a little bit of anger about it, whatever. Naturally, she doesn't want to deal with this. She doesn't want her son to be touched by it or harmed by it. And also, naturally, it has to come out, and it does. And in the course of that, there are a lot of, I think, familiar feelings for all of us, universal feelings, about family, about growing up. And Santa Claus actually helps her through that. And I think in some ways she helps him through it, too.
Now, you have children, don't you, Shelley?
I do. I have a daughter, 11.
And how do you deal with this with her?
Well, she doesn't really have this particular issue, but I know there are, there are certain things that that maybe I felt weren't handled exactly right for me as a child, and I try and do that better with her. And yet it's almost like it's in your blood, that my mother used to be very concerned about my hair. Now wait, she'll hear about this. She knows. And my hair was never right for my mother, so I try to bite my tongue with my daughter, but there's just some part of me that wants to do, honey, don't you think you should wash your hair? They go through that phase starting at like 9 or 10, and they don't, forget showers and baths. But, at least once a week.
At least it's not purple hair, is it?
No, it's not purple hair.
That's
Thank
good.
God for that. And it's not a mohawk. Thank God for that, too.
See, there are little things we should be thankful for.
Oh, absolutely, along the way, sure. And you got to pick your battles, too,
Yes, you do.
Which I understand, and which the mother I play in the film is a single mother. And, how single moms do it on their own, whether they're running for mayor or not, it's a tough job. And I commend them because I have a wonderful husband who really does, when I'm out doing things like this and I'm obviously away from home, I really have to rely on him. And then I have to clean things up when I get home, too. But he does help. He really does help.
Well, Shelley, it's a pleasure talking to you. We want to remind them it's called A Different Kind of Christmas.
Yes.
Also, Barry Bostwick is in this with you. You've got some other big stars.
He's my love interest. And
Ooh.
Santa Claus, you'll love Santa Claus. And you'll love the young man who plays my son.
Wonderful.
Hopefully you'll love the movie.
Good. Well, it's going to be on, premiering this coming Monday.
Yes.
In our area, it'll be on at 8 o'clock on Lifetime.
Oh, okay, great.
Thank you, Shelley.
Merry
and
Christmas.
to all your relatives.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi, guys.
relatives.
Love ya.
Thank you, Shelley.
Okay.
We'll take a look at a clip now, again, from A Different Kind of Christmas.
Well, let me guess, the Grinch who stole Christmas.
This surprises me, Mallory. I didn't actually think people read your newspaper.
Oh, he's a decent guy, Counselor. He's not hurting anyone.
He's disturbing the neighborhood and engaging in business in a residential area.
What business? He accepts donations for toys he gives away to hospitals.
If he's taking money, he's running a business.
Bye, Santa.
Goodbye, kids.
Bye, Santa.
And thanks for coming. You came. I knew it.
Mr. George, I'm sorry, but you are disturbing your neighbors and violating all kinds of safety and traffic codes. I know you mean well, but I have to ask you to stop your activities or move elsewhere. This is a list of the violations. The marshals will be glad to go over them with you.
It'd be awfully nice to be able to have them come home to a warm from the oven dinner. But as busy as we are right now, there's no time. Well, unless we depend on an old favorite, a quick and easy one. Watch this, and it'll work with any brands at all, not just the ones that are here. In a baking dish, we put 3 cups of hot cooked elbow macaroni. We mix in a can of cream of mushroom soup, 1½ cups of a shredded cheddar cheese, and ½ cup of picante sauce or salsa. Now, we give it about 25 minutes in a 400-degree oven. Then we sprinkle on a ½ cup of crushed tortilla chips and another ½ cup of cheese. Now we give it another 5 minutes. Macaroni and cheese. It's our old-fashioned, but teamed with our new favorite Tex-Mex excitement. But this could be the base for having a different excitement every night, no matter how busy we are. Well, because it's just adding. Sure, if we added some cut-up cooked chicken or turkey to the mixture, that's a full meal. Maybe there was some leftover steak in the fridge, cut up into it, wow. Or ham, or it can be canned chicken or canned tuna, salmon. Now, my favorite is simply a package of frozen mixed veggies as a super side dish. Well, look how many different meals with one easy favorite base. And if you'd like the recipe, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked Ready Mac and Cheese to me, Mr. Food, right here at the station. We'll get it back to you for getting a lot of smiles with the same easy, so we love it, and they love us. Well, why not? With all the, ooh, it's so good. Oh, oh.
Well, not only is food important, which we all smile about, but music is an important part of celebrating any holiday. And of course, today is the first day of Hanukkah. Cantor Ed Berkowitz, we're delighted to have you and the Zamir Choir here with us today. Do you end up having to practice and rehearse a lot? I know that takes a lot of time and effort to make these kinds of beautiful songs make sense to us all.
You're absolutely right, Dennis. It's a pleasure to work with the children once a week. Every Sunday we get together and practice our songs for the season.
Now, I can tell from the height that we have different ages here. Tell us what kind of ages and where are we all from here today?
Well, we start from grade 3 all the way through grade 11? Oh, grade 11. We have one in grade 11. But most of our children range between 3rd and 7th grade, which is up to about 13 years old. And we have a few that are 15 or so.
Well, we really are delighted that you are here today, so why don't you share with us one of your great specialties?
Okay.
Cantor, please.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children, with thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time was at hand. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they've not died in vain? We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden, and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, don't let the light go out, don't let the light go out.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so. Come on, Scott, come on down. One of the great things we want to do is not only to say thank you to you for helping us celebrate Hanukkah, because the best hope of all of us is for our children. Scott, we're going to hear from you now and do a little solo. Cantor and Scott, happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen.
Our horse-drawn wagons will transport you to one of our fields of dreams where you may select the perfect Christmas tree. Relax and enjoy the view while dining at our gourmet luncheon restaurant, The Granary. Select just the right gift for everyone on your list and experience the warmth while browsing through one of the area's finest furniture showplaces. You'll find all of this at the Pine Tree Barn, located on Route 226, 4 miles south of Worcester. Experience Pine Tree one time, and your family will have a tradition for years to come.
Wait till they unwrap it. They'll love it. Thanks for your order.
These cordless rascals are on everyone's list. Of course, it lets you take your caller ID to every room. Upstairs, downstairs, everywhere. Everything's at your fingertips. Like your mother.
Oh.
Give them an Ameritech cordless caller ID phone and save. Call 1-800-709-LINK and order today.
I tell you, Mom, a phone's a great gift. No, it's not a fruitcake.
Ameritech, your link to better communication.
These children are building a home, and because of you, so are their parents. You are helping broken families build a new foundation, a new life community, and transitional housing.
It's turned our lives around. I've learned that I have no limitations.
Join News Channel 5 and Q104 in building lives here at home. Send what you can, won't you, to Home for the Holidays, Post Office Box 5555, Cleveland, 44101. What you give will give a child a chance, and a home for the holidays and beyond.
At Levin's Furniture, our incredible offer is coming to an end. Through Saturday, make no down payment and pay no interest for 2 years. 2 years free financing must end Saturday at 9 p.m. Only at Levin's.
Mary Steenburgen, One Magic Christmas, late night tonight.
Bagels for the Morning Exchange provided by Amster Bagel Bakery.
And it's time for the Eat Beat, and today we're going to take you to a new restaurant in town, something you'll want to check out and say, hey, I've eaten there, why haven't you? And the restaurant is called Johnny Mango's. We have the co-owners with us today. We have Shelley Underwood and Gary Richmond. Hi there.
Hi.
Good morning to
Good
you.
morning.
We'll just say right off the bat, if you know the name Underwood, everybody, think about it. Her husband is our sportsman here. How was that to start a business up here? The restaurant business, I would think, is a little scary to get into.
Oh, sure.
It's grueling, but we knew what we were getting into when we began it.
Had you both been in the restaurant business before?
Yes.
Yeah. Now tell us where it is here. It's down by Bridge, right?
We are on the corner of Bridge, Fulton, and West 32nd Street in Ohio City, 1 block west of Hex.
What used to be in this location?
Used to be vacant for about 10 years.
Oh, no kidding. There you are.
It
describe
was a mess.
what kind of food. And here we're seeing,
we've got burritos. We've got a couple burrito big plates.
Yeah.
With chips, salsa, homemade salsa. That's shrimp stir fry. Grilled banana. That's my absolute favorite thing. We've got a World Cafe.
So a
Foods from
little
all
bit of
different-
everything,
Right.
huh?
Jamaican jerk chicken sandwich.
How'd you come up with the idea? Why did you decide to do a World Cafe called Johnny Mango?
Well, I did some traveling a few years ago. I traveled to Thailand, to Mexico, to the Caribbean, collecting recipes, staying with restaurateurs in Thailand, and just began developing the concept.
And so it opened, what, right before Halloween?
Right.
And how's it been?
Wonderful. We're doing really well. The neighborhood has been incredibly supportive.
Oh, that's great.
We're about twice as busy as we expected to be.
Now that's good news.
That is.
Good for you. Now you do both lunch and dinner,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, show us what you can do here. Away we go. What do you want to show us today?
We're doing pad thai today.
Okay.
That's the national noodle dish of Thailand.
The national noodle. Okay, here we go.
It exports well. Well, let me turn
Get
up
it up
the
there
heat.
nice and hot.
We want a smoking wok to start with.
Okay. There you go. Think we got it
we go.
smoking yet?
Not too smoking.
Right.
Okay.
And the basis of the dish is we have here rice noodles. That's they need to be soaked beforehand for about 20 minutes in warm water.
All right.
And that's the cooking process.
Okay.
We start with vegetable oil in a pan, and then we add egg.
Interesting way to add an egg.
1 egg. Then I like to put the garlic in the pan after the egg. That way you never burn the garlic.
Okay.
And we don't use as much garlic as, say, an Italian or a French cook would.
Okay.
It's just a backdrop.
Okay. Just a little flavor enhancer, huh?
Right, about a teaspoon.
Have you been cooking forever, Shelley?
Oh, no.
Oh, no?
Absolutely not. Matt comes to our restaurant to eat because I don't cook at home.
I see.
And I just watch him.
Uh-huh. How'd you get into the business? How'd you decide to do this?
I don't know. A lot of people get into the restaurant business just because you're in the right place at the right time and you become addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's a very high volume.
It's exciting. It's quite a feeling of accomplishment each day.
I bet it is. Every day. Okay, you got it going here. Now what's happening?
Now we put in the shrimp. Now these shrimp are pre-cooked and these are American shrimp. And I brought along a sample of the shrimp that the Thai people use.
Okay, which is a much smaller,
much
tiny.
smaller freshwater dried shrimp.
Dried. Show it.
Quite pungent. Take a sniff.
Okay, hang on just a second. After they get that shot, I'll bring you back here. Hello. Okay. All right, let's put in the regular.
We've Americanized it a bit.
Okay.
Adding the shrimp.
Don't blame you there one bit. Okay.
We'll stir fry that a while.
Okay.
And then add the noodles.
Now the shrimp, you leave on the tails, right?
Right.
And here they come.
Now this is different than, again, from an Italian or a French dish in that we must consider this a fried noodle dish. Okay. So we're going to stir fry the noodles and toss them around.
How
get
long
them
do you
coated
do
with
this?
the oil and the egg, just enough to get them hot and coated. Stir the egg in.
Are they
whiz a
pretty
little over the
pliable?
side.
They look
Yes.
somewhat stiff.
They become more and more pliable as you go along.
All right.
And they become even more pliable when we add our pad juice.
Okay. What's
Now,
pad juice?
This is a mixture of fish sauce, and every Thai cook is worth his or her fish sauce.
Okay.
It's much like soy sauce in China, except it's made, of course, with fermenting salted fish. Now it too has a
right?
yes, it too has a pungent aroma.
Okay.
However, once the application of heat, that aroma completely goes away.
Okay. So you get it and no one else does,
Right.
huh? Okay. How much of that do you put in?
We'll put in about a half a cup.
Okay. All right.
There's also a bit of ketchup in here.
Ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, world cuisine, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All righty.
Now, a Thai cook might use paprika or tomato paste as opposed to ketchup.
All right. But we here in America cook ketchup.
See how the noodles are starting to soften up?
They sure are.
In
Okay.
addition to our World Cafe, we also have a juice bar. And I brought a couple juices.
Okay. Be taking a look at those. What kind of flavors? You want to go ahead and finish up what you got there too?
We have
what kind
tofu.
of juices? Oh.
Tofu.
See the juices now while you're putting those things in.
Okay.
What are those?
Carrot orange juice, the sun drop we call it, and a pelican kiss. It's apples, cranberry, and ginger. Freshly extracted from our monster juicer.
Do people try new things a lot when they're there?
Absolutely.
Do they?
Yes.
Good. Encourage them to try something instead of the same old thing. All right. Hey, while this is cooking up here, let me give you the newsletter, and you can just continue cooking there, if you will, Gary. Right here to the Morning Exchange, P.O. Box 94551 in Cleveland. The zip is 44101-4551. And ask for newsletter number 321, and you'll get this recipe, too, from Johnny Mango. Okay, now tell us what else you're going to do.
We've added tofu, firm tofu.
All right, not that soft stuff.
Right,
Okay.
and scallions. Now see, it's starting to brown a little bit, and we must think of the sauce as being absorbed by the noodles.
All right.
It's different. It's much lower fat than, say, a fettuccine Alfredo.
Sure, with all that stuff hanging off of it all the time. And then it goes. Do you put in other ingredients, or have we got it?
We've just about got it. We
Okay.
have a few ingredients to top it with.
Okay.
And I can't forget the sprouts.
Okay, hop those on while I give them the phone number here again to Johnny Mango's, which is down at Bridge, Fulton, and West 32nd, I do believe. Phone number is 575-1919, and we have the owners, Shelley Underwood and Gary Richmond, with us here, just getting ready to serve it up.
Ready to plate it up?
Okay, we are ready. Da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. While we're doing this, let me tell you something about a contest that we have going on here. We have been doing a contest all this week that has been involved where you could win a trip to go see Regis and Kathy Lee in New York City and have all the expenses paid. You'd be there for 4 days and 3 nights. This is where you wrote in, P.O. Box 94551, Cleveland, Ohio, 44101-4551. Now, here's the deal. What you needed to do was, on all the shows this week, name the last guest on our show and the last guest on Regis and Kathy Lee for all 5 days this week, and then you send it in to us on a postcard. And you have until the 17th to send it in, because we have to receive it, rather, by the 17th, because we're going to draw on the 18th. Today, for example, our last guest acceptable, because some people are a little confused, would be either Johnny Mango. See, we'll even give you one, because we may have some people afterwards, but this would be for example, our last guest today. So don't say we didn't give you a little holiday gift, because there you are. So get those in, if you will, and we'll do those on the 18th will be the drawing. And what do you have here?
Pad Thai, the national noodle dish of Thailand.
Ooh, look at
Shall we
that.
add some roasted peanuts,
let's
chopped
top it off.
peanuts?
Ooh.
And some roasted chilies.
Oh, yum. Once again, from Johnny Mango's new restaurant down at Bridge, Fulton, and West 32nd. Congratulations to you. You're doing so well.
Thank you very much.
Let's eat.
Thanks very much.
Right now, we'll check in with Jenny and see what's happening in the news today. Boy, does that look yummy, yummy.
Hi, Connie. Well, here's some of what's coming up today on News Channel 5 at noon. An organization representing Browns fans looks to head off permanent seat licensing. We'll explain. And an explosion rocks a popular landmark in New York City. And meet one couple who decided to have a real swinging wedding. Join us today at noon for those stories, and stay with us for more of the Morning Exchange coming your way in just a minute.
This portion of the Morning Exchange is sponsored by SS Kemp & Company.
Shop where the chefs shop at SS Kemp & Company. Our beautiful showroom offers you the opportunity to select from the finest quality products available. Professional ranges and ovens, china and buffetware, cutlery, cookware, accessories, gifts, and much more. A way to satisfy the gourmet in you. SS Kemp & Company always has the right tools for the job, from the simplest to the most elegant. If cooking is your passion, discover the taste of excellence at SS Kemp & Company, located at 4567 Willow Parkway, just off I-77's Grand Avenue exit.
Pressure and stress, they can bring on acid indigestion. You need powerful relief. Rolaids can absorb 47% more acid than regular Tums, and it works fast. When life puts the screws to you, Rolaids spells relief.
What causes denture odor? Come close and we'll show you. Germs. Only Efferdent Plus has Listerine ingredients. It kills odor-causing germs, so you can get this close. Efferdent Plus with Listerine ingredients. Kill the germs, kill the odor.
The holiday season has arrived, and everyone at Giant Eagle is getting into the spirit. Of course, if you use your Giant Eagle Advantage card between December 1st and January 4th, you can earn a $5, a $10, even a $15 Giant Eagle savings certificate.